Dear listeners of Teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige channel, I have brought you an analysis of a favorite novel on the subject of literature in English, Tanzania, as well as other African countries. It is called The Old Man and the Meadow, written by Ferdinand Oyono in 1956 in French as Livix et la Medaille, and later translated into English in the year of 1967 as The Old Man and the Meadow. Ferdinand Oyono has called this book The Old Man and the Meadow, focusing on the main character, who is Mecca. Mecca is an old man. Ferdinand Oyono wrote this novel to inform today's Africans that the qualities and the charms of Africans made them welcome the colonialists in Africa. They did not know that later they would be betrayed by the colonialists. Ferdinand Oyono wrote to show the ignorance of Africans by being given a medal and handing over their lands to white people. Ferdinand Oyono wrote this novel to educate us about the effect of colonialism in Africa. For example, land alienation, exploitation, racism, dehumanization, betrayal, and the hypocrisy of white people for Africans. The setting of this novel is Cameroon, especially the rural setting, such as Zuodian village, the village where Mecca lived, and the town setting, for example, Dun Town, a town where the white people lived, such as Van Gulet, M. Fukon, Commandant, and Vandermeer. Don't be surprised by these characters used in the houseboat. The author is the same one from The Old Man and the Meadow. Ferdinand Oyono has used various style or techniques in this novel. The use of narrative technique explains the tragedies of Africans and the white people during the colonial period. He also used a monologue. For example, Mecca was talking to himself after being harassed by the whites. Ferdinand Oyono used a third-person point of view to explain his book. For example, the Mecca with the white people, the use of pronoun he and they. Ferdinand Oyono uses figurative language to decorate his work to be attractive to readers. An example, number 1, simile. Example of simile: woman, you are as weak as the disciplines were on the Mount Olives. And repeat, woman, you are as weak as the disciplines were on the Mount Olives. Another example of simile: they said their prayers in a monotonous sing-song, kneeling on their bamboo bed like camels waiting to be loaded. I'm repeating. They said their prayers in a monotonous sing-song, kneeling on their bamboo bed like camels waiting to be loaded. Number 2, personification. The example: the heart was already alive. Page 5. The heart was already alive. Number 3, metaphor. Example: now that her husband is going to have a meadow, she will become a white woman. Page 34. I'm repeating. Now that her husband is going to have a meadow, she will become a white woman. Page 34. Another example of metaphor: a child eats strange fruit. Page 62. A child eats strange fruit. Page 62. Number 4, hyperbole. Example: they are black as the bottom of a pot, and their heads are the same shape as a ram's. Scrotums and their teeth are like the teeth of a sow. Page 33. They are black as the bottom of a pot, and their heads are the same shape as a ram's scrotum, and their teeth are like the teeth of a sow. Number 5. Proverbs or saying. Example: if you want to know what your friend thinks of you, drink a few glasses with him. Page 106. If you want to know what your friend thinks of you, drink a few glasses with him. Page 106. Ferdinand Oyono has called his book The Old Man the Meadow, talking about him, the old man who is Maker, and the meadow, which is a gift given to Maker on the 14th of July as a gift to wise people. Ferdinand Oyono has used different characters to complete his book. For example, he used Maker, who is the main character of this novel. Maker is a person who loves prizes. Maker is a troublemaker of his wife. Waking up in the morning, he screams while his wife is sleeping. Maker welcomed the colonialists and gave them a piece of land. We get a glimpse of ignorance, betrayal to his wife and to Africans, awareness after being tortured by the colonialists. The second character is Kelala. This is the Maker's wife. She is a woman who cares about her family. Kelala is a hard-working woman. Kelala was married at a young age to Maker. We get a sense of early marriage and awareness. Also an aspect of the role and position of women. Kelala portrayed as a hard worker in her family, a good advisor to her husband, a sympathetic person to her children after being killed during the war. The third character is Engamba. Ferdinand Oyono has tried to show the issue of African tradition and custom in his book, although a large part of the book touches on the issue of the effect of colonialism. Ferdinand Oyono used Engamba, who believes in marrying many wives. Perhaps he hated his father's 6 wives, including his mother. Perhaps he married Amalia at a young age. We get a glimpse of polygamy, widow inheritance, and nepotism to Engamba. The fourth character is Nkolo, and this is an African who believes in superstition beliefs. He believes in marrying many wives. He has 5 wives and plans to marry 6 wives. Another character is Mami Titi. This is a woman who cooks. Her drinking customs are Maker. We get the themes of alcoholism or drunkardness. The other characters are Valin Gulet, M. Fukon, Commandant, and Vandermeer. These are white people who came to Africa with the aims of harassing Africans and taking their land. We get the themes of betrayal for Africans, hypocrisy for Africans, and racism for Africans. Ferdinand Oyono has used the chronological plot to describe events in this book. This novel has 3 parts. Part 1 has 5 chapters. Part 2 has 3 chapters, and Part 3 has 3 chapters. The story of this novel begins to describe the life of Maker and his family, and his wife Kelala. Maker, the main character who welcomed the colonialists and gave them a piece of land. In fact, Maker was given the medal on the 14th July, but later Maker lost the medal while drunk at Mamititi Club. That day it rained a lot of rainfall, and Maker woke up and did not see his medal. Ferdinand Oyono tells us that Maker is a pampas person because when he is given a lift by the colonialist, he sticks his head out so that his fellow Africans can see him. When the colonialists settled in Cameroon, for a long time, they started issuing their own rules to wear an ID while walking at night. When Maker woke up to Mam Titi, he started walking. On his way home, he met a postman, and they started to beat him, and finally they took him to their boss. When Mecca was brought, he was given 10 lashes by Valin Gullet. But later the colonialists recognized Mecca as the one who welcomed them and asked for his forgiveness. Mecca was very angry after being whipped, and at the end he returned home with the land has lost. Kelala stayed at home crying because of the loss of her two sons during the war, because Mecca gave her children to the colonialists to fight on the side of the white man against the Africans. At the end, they were killed in the war. Many people have gathered at Mecca's house, waiting for Mecca to return to his house to celebrate. Perhaps he caught Mecca when he arrived, downtown, and started insulting them because they had beaten Mecca and harassed him. At the end of the book, Mecca was promised another medal, but it was not given. He kept blaming the colonialists, and the land was lost to the whites. Ferdinand Oyono has shown family conflict in Mecca and Kalala. After losing their children, there is also a social conflict between Africans and the colonialists. Ferdinand Oyono shown interpersonal conflict in Mecca and Kalala after being harassed by the colonialists. Ferdinand Oyono gives a message of anti-colonialism in Africa. Ferdinand Oyono gives us a message to be awareness of possession. Ferdinand Oyono gives a message to get rid of ignorance. Dear listener, Ferdinand Oyono believes in getting rid of colonial issues in Africa. This novel is relevant for Africa's country because until today there is a violence going on for Africans. I have reached the end of the analysis of the novel. Dear listeners, I ask you to subscribe to my channel so that you can get my book analysis information. My name is teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, the Manju of Literature and the young African writer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.